Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Desperados, and this is a new romantic comedy coming your way from Netflix, directed by LP, and this film is very much a Netflix rom-com. Honestly, I could probably leave my review at that, and most of you would know what I mean by that. They spend a lot of money to send a group of actors off to a resort to have some fun with each other, and don't really think about creating that interesting of a story. Because this film is chock full of cliches. Cliches everywhere. And you read the synopsis of this film, and in a nutshell, a woman, afraid she messed up with her significant other, sending a bad email, follows him to Mexico and tries to delete the email with a group of her friends, and it's just like, sounds like a ridiculous rom-com and an excuse for them to go to a really nice resort, and yes, it was. But here's the thing. They have a lot of chemistry, and the three main actresses here, they're really talented. And they're there. And Nasim Pedrad does a great job leading this film. She's very charismatic. Anna Camp's in there from Pitch Perfect. Lamorne Morris is really funny, and his side character that even describing how his character fits in, it's like a failed date earlier in the film. He just happens to be at this resort, and of course they make a joke about that because it subverts expectations. If you make a joke about a cliche, it's not a cliche anymore. And then they start having a budding interest, because when you really take a step back and think about it, her relationship with Robbie Amel's character really isn't that special. And what a surprise, she just happens to fall right in love with the man that rejected her earlier, and it's just like, how many cliches can you possibly come up with in one movie? And I feel bad for the two friend characters because they each have their own arc, their own story, but they always feel like they're just tacked on. And I feel bad because that's exactly how the characters feel in the film, because they feel like they're just getting dragged around by their friend. It's always about her. And yes, she has a lot of stuff going on in her life, but both of them have very serious things going on in their lives as well. And they build up to a good point where they find resolution to their own issues, but it just kind of feels like they're an afterthought. And there's also some unbelievably uncomfortable humor in this film that is so lowbrow. I'm just like, and it deals with a running joke that this little kid, who's probably like 12, is in love with the main character and keeps getting in awkward sexual situations with this kid, or presumably sexual, and the mom yelling at her and calling her a pedophile. And it's just like, did they really need to write jokes like that into this film? Did that even need to be in this film? Because it felt really uncomfortable, and it wasn't funny. And after a while, it's just like, actually, it's not really after a while. You know from the start exactly what this film's going to be. And there's a cliche around every corner, but at least it has a charismatic game cast that has a lot of chemistry with each other, and they can have some fun. And honestly, I had a few laughs along the way. But it's pretty disposable and forgettable Netflix rom-com. But that's exactly what I expected. But those are my thoughts on Desperados. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.